Yes, we are.
Good morning, good afternoon, actually, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Italian Vegan. Let's cook together. Today, we'll be doing Melanzane alla Parmigiana, which is another classic dish of the Italian cuisine. First of all, can I just make sure that you can all hear me properly? You can, as usual, we're doing, this is a Zoom recording, so you can add a comment in the chat box at the bottom of the screen, or you can unmute yourself by clicking on your image and then unmuting yourself, or and just speak normally, as this is going to be an interactive session. So anything you want to ask, or if anything that I do is not 100% clear, just let me know. Just ask me. Francesco today will be doing the cameraman of this session. So he'll also be reading the questions to me, as obviously I can't see the screen of the phone from here. Again, if there is anybody that is here for the first time, remember this is a Zoom session, so ask anything you want to ask. You can interrupt him at any minute during the cooking, and I will try to go through what I do several times, so we can all get it right. Okay, so shall we get started straight away? Yeah, everybody can hear properly?
Everyone says good.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, so we'll start with obviously with the Melanzane alla Parmigiana, and then later we'll do a variation of the tiramisu. We'll do tiramisu with banana and also with chocolate and hazelnut spread. I'll quickly go through the ingredients. So for the Melanzane alla Parmigiana, first of all, for the sauce, we just need 1 onion. We need a passata di pomodoro, so basically just like just tomatoes sieved. So you can have the same effect if you have a couple of tins of tomatoes and quickly blitz them in the blender. And we need a few leaves of basil. That's all the fresh basil. That's all they will need for the sauce. Then obviously we'll need the melanzane. Depending on how much of it you want to make, it depends on how many melanzane you will need, many aubergines. So I've got here 4 or 5. I'll start with about maybe 3, and if I need to do a little bit more, then I just slice a bit more and cook a bit more. And then we will need some vegan cheese for the sauce. So I've got 2 different things here. One is this is a bit, I'm being lazy today, so I bought this already grated, which is I like this make BioLife, and this is the kind of like imitation cheddar, which melts really well, so it's good for dishes like this. And I also got some of the Parmesan, which I've got behind there, but I just showed them the can just make sure that you can see this properly. Yeah. Prosciutto is called, and this is kind of like the one that's closest to Parmesan cheese. Doesn't melt as well, but it's got more taste. So we'll be using a combination of both. Okay, and for the tiramisu, instead we'll be using Plant double cream. I'm using this brand. This is a really good substitution for cream if you're vegan. Made all from plant ingredients. Then we'll be using some vanilla desserts. You can buy the ones that are made with either soya milk, or this one is made with almond milk. Then we will need some digestive biscuits. A hazelnut chocolate spread. This is the one I'm using today. And we also need some espresso coffee. And I'll be making the coffee in this like traditional cafetiere. And some cocoa powder for the dressing at the end. Okay, so let's get started with the melanzane to begin with. What we'll do, we start making the sauce, because that will be going in the background as we prepare the melanzane. Okay, so first thing I'll do, I'll get an onion and do the usual chopping. So first of all, I'll cut it in half. I'll take the top off. I'll leave the bottom. And I'll just peel the first layer behind. Okay. Okay. So what I'll do again, just to chop it, I'll do some incisions. So it's still in one piece, and I'll do a couple of horizontal incisions as well. Okay, and then I'll start chopping. Okay, you see, it comes already pretty much finely chopped, apart from the last couple of bits that I'll chop again. Okay, this is number one. Start with the second one. Do the same thing. Francesco, mi vedi?
Yep.
Quante persone ci sono? Okay, we do the same thing. So incisions to begin with. As you can see at this stage, we're still in one piece. You can see the difference. I'm using an organic onion, yeah, instead of a normal one, and this actually does make me cry. Quite strong. Okay. So what I'll do now, put it in a little pan. I'll add some olive oil. I'm using some olive oil here I had some really nice olives in olive oil, so it's a pity to waste the oil. I'll be using the oil from there. You'll be using probably about 4 tablespoons of olive oil. Okay, so I like reusing, not wasting any ingredients. Okay, so we got olive oil in here. Put it on, no, not this one. Put it on a small, excuse me. We want to put it on a low heat because we'll be cooking it slowly. It'll take about, by the time we finish the melanzane, the sauce will be ready. So what we want to do at this stage is just to get the tomato, to get the flavor of the onion and the basil, and to reduce a little bit into a thicker sauce. Basically lose a lot of the water that's in the tomato, tomatoes or tomato juice. Okay, the onions are in there. Use my wooden spoon. Okay, let them slowly color up for a few minutes, and in the meantime, we can start with the aubergines. Okay. So what we'll do, we'll top and tail them. So cut the top off in the end. And we want to slice them with some thin slices. So I'll take the edge off, so obviously it makes it easy to cut. And you want thin slices, about about half a centimeter thickness. So really quite thin. So use a sharp knife. If you have a mandolin with an adjustable thickness, then that probably be the quickest way of doing this. But otherwise, you can do what I'm doing and just cut them with a nice sharp knife. Oops. Okay. Get it to the end. It's a bit difficult to cut the last few slices because it's a soft. Okay, that will do for number one. Just a plate. Okay. So we'll do the same. We'll do a list 3 for now. What I'm doing today, I'm just doing to show you on a small tray like this. But if you're making it for a family, this is what my grandmother would have used. Okay, so you can make with one of these. You can make about, I would say, about 12 portions. Just it will take a little bit longer. So I'm doing it in one of these. But feel free to make it, to use a tray as big as you like, because these are lovely. It's a really lovely dish, and it keeps quite well as well. Okay, doing number 2. Yes. This is started to gently cook and color up. So we'll leave it for another minute, and then we'll add the tomatoes. Okay, do the same thing with this one. Let's have a flat surface. We don't want to waste this though. Okay. Flat surface makes it a lot easier to slice. Are you okay so far? Any questions?
So how much oil in the pan?
The oil, I put about, I would say 3 to 4 tablespoons of olive oil. It also depends on, how much, how many, how big a portion of this you want to make. Obviously, if you want to make a big one, then you will need to use a bit more sauce. So you will need a little bit of more olive oil as well. But at the moment, for what we're doing, 3 to 4 tablespoons are plenty.
So how much tomato sauce
we're going to need about 800 grams, so roughly 1 bottle of passata or 2 tins of tomatoes. Okay, so that's 2. I'm going to make another little one. So at the moment, I'm going to prepare three aubergines. We can also do a little bit more if we see that we need a few more. Do this. Okay, we slice the last one. As I said, don't feel shy if you need to ask any questions. Sometimes I go quite fast because we got quite a bit to do. But feel free to interrupt me at any time if I'm going too fast. So at the moment, we just chop the onions and put them in a pan with a few tablespoons of olive oil, like 3, 4, and they gently cook in the background. This is what we call, by the way, when we're cooking vegetables like this in olive oil, we call it soffritto. Soffritto means like the preparation that you fry. It can be done, in this case, we just use onions, but for other sauces, we generally use a little bit of carrot and celery as well. And it's also optional. If you want a little bit of kick, you can put a tiny bit of chili in there. Don't go over the top because this is not a hot dish, but you can have a little bit of chili in there if you like it. Okay, we'll let it go a little bit longer. Okay, I think we got enough aubergines in there. Okay, just get your to come a little bit closer. But you can see now that the onions have kind of become a bit transparent, a bit yellowy. Okay, so they are softened up now. If you're in a hurry anytime and you want to do this process a little bit quicker, just add a pinch of salt. That helps to soften the onions. Just literally, just look at me, just a pinch, and that helps them soften up a little bit quicker. Okay, I think we're ready to add the passata now. I've got some left from last week. Let's have a look. Let me measure up properly. I'll let that come down in its own time. I'll take this passata. Just give it a shake first. Okay. So I've got here about, as I said, as I promised, That's coming up to 800 grams of passata, which is equivalent to 2 tins of chopped tomatoes. Very nice as well. Okay, just so this is the tomato sauce or the passata. So if you're doing chopped tomatoes, then quickly tin tomato, just quickly blitz them in the blender because we need a smooth sauce. Okay, so we let this quick cook in the background very slowly, but we will need to add about one teaspoon of salt. Okay, I'm using sea salt here, but I prefer if I can. Okay, let's blend it in.
There's a question from Rosalind. How much passata do you need?
And Rosalind, I put 800 grams, which is pretty much 1 bottle. Let's see how much. Actually, this bottle is 700, so I used one and a bit bottle, or two tins of tomatoes. Tins of tomatoes normally come in 400 grams. So 2 will make 800. Don't worry about it if you go just 1 bottle and you slightly under. It's not a huge deal. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I only need some more. I just need to add a few basil leaves for now, and then I'll add some more right at the end. Okay, so I'll just fit them in. I blend it in nicely. Now I'll cover it. Forget about it. Okay. Now let's go on to cooking the melanzane. Okay, so I'll have 1 plate ready for the cooked melanzane. Let's put it here. Okay, now there are 2 ways of doing this. The traditional way is to kind of almost like deep fry them or saute them in quite a little bit of oil, which is probably the tastier way of doing them and the traditional one. But I prefer to have it a little bit lighter. So what I'll be doing, I'll just be cooking on a pan, just on the heat, with no oil. You can do that also in a griddle pan. I'll just put a little bit of olive oil just to grease these two. I'll do it on 2 pans so we can do it a little bit quicker. So I'll just put a drop of olive oil, and then I'll spread it around with some kitchen paper. Francesco, can you see me?
Yep.
Would you mind starting the grating of the Parmesan, please? I've got a nice assistant there. Apart from doing the cameraman, will also be grating the Parmesan cheese, which is really good. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. As you can, there is no runny oil. I'm going to do it very, very light. Or if you got olive oil spray, you can use that just to grease the pan a little bit. There's mine. Okay. Okay, so we're using the big one here. I'll be using this here. As you can see, I'm using actually an omelette pan. Anything that's non-stick will help you to cook these. It's good. Okay. So I have these on, and we'll let it get up to good temperature, but they have to be really hot with the aubergines. Okay, so we'll wait a minute. We'll have a sip of tea.
How much Parmesan do we need?
Abundant, Francesco. Francesco was asking how much Parmesan do we need. Okay, I got one. I got one of these, which is 150 grams. So you will need most of it. So get grating. I'd be happy to hear. I mean, this is. I tend to use this make for the vegan cheese. I'm happy to if you got some really good makes that you use. That I don't know. I'd be very happy to hear about it. Because it's always, the cheese is one of the most difficult things to substitute when you go completely lactose free. So you don't need cheese anymore, but you go into the vegan varieties. It's something that is developing very quickly. There are many companies that are trying to, they're trying to make good vegan cheese, and some of them are really good. This is so far the one that's easily available in major supermarkets. They're the one that I like the best. Okay, so the pans are nice and hot now, so we can start putting these in. Okay. So we'll need to do them in a few batches. We got quite a few. You can probably hear them sizzling. Okay, make sure that they don't stick to your pan. Okay. You might want. I mean, feel free to use olive oil if you want to add to the taste, or if it makes it easier to to cook the aubergines in your pans. It doesn't really make any difference to the end product. It just obviously, if you fry them, you will be a little bit tastier. But it don't take if your pans are very hot, they won't take long to cook. What's it, about 1 minute either side? You can see this. You can see this is already coloring up on that side, so I'll turn it around. Cook them on both sides. Depends on the thickness as well. The thicker slices will take a bit longer. Should be able to smell it as well as they're cooking. They release their lovely aubergine smell. Oh, obviously, one ingredient I forgot to mention for later. Obviously, we will need one banana, because we're making a banana tiramisu version. So be ready with one of those as well. First slice ready.
Okay. Question: is it low, medium, or high heat for cooking the aubergines?
It would be on a medium heat, but obviously because um, there's no oil or fat in there. I mean, the pans will get very hot, whatever the heat you are using. It just will take, if you're on a low heat, it will take a little bit longer. That's all.
Another question: have we put basil in the sauce?
Yes, I have put a few leaves of basil in the sauce, and keep some for the end because we'll add a bit more basil at the end when the sauce is reduced. Okay. As you can see, have a look. The cooking time will depend on your pans and on the thickness of the aubergines that you slice. That you can see by the color when they got a nice brown grill color. It means that they're ready. And we'll also keep some a little bit of salt ready on the side because as the aubergines are cooked already, we add a little bit of salt to them. So what I'll do, I'll have a bit of salt in a bowl.
Yeah. Rosaline, could you show a cooked aubergine again? What it looks like?
That's it, Rosalind. Is that? Can you see it?
Oh.
That was a nice cooked aubergine, and now it's on the floor, so I won't be using that for cooking. But you are put it on the plate, so at least before it goes on the plate. Can you see that? Yeah. Oh, it's a pity. Okay. As you can see, this is a live class with all the with all the fun of live events. So don't worry. I mean, if something doesn't go slightly wrong in your cooking, that means that you're being too careful. Okay. Keep an eye on questions.
Yeah.
So you can see here on the plate. Can you show Francesco?
Sure.
These are to begin a few cooked aubergines, and I've just add a very pinch of salt, a very little because the sauce is already salted. So don't put too much, but just a pinch of salt. And keep, as you take aubergines off the pans, then keep adding some more. Oops. And each layer of aubergines that you put on the plate, just add a pinch of salt.
How much salt have we added to the sauce?
About 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of salt, roughly. Okay.
If you find that your pan is sticky, is sticking, then feel free to add a little bit more oil. So these are quite good. I don't really need to add olive oil or any other oil to it. As I said, I added another layer, so I put another pinch of salt. The tomato sauce is actually bubbling away. You can see that the smoke is on a minimum low heat. Should be done with the aubergines in another few minutes. I'll just have a look on the tomato sauce. I want to have a good taste as well to see if at this stage if I need to correct that anything else. The sauce. No, I'm happy with the salt. It's actually really nice passata as well, so it's lovely. Always look for bargains in the supermarket. I managed to get this yesterday. We had this organic passata at the same price as the normal one. So yes, why not? Okay, now the few aubergines are ready. Okay. Another minute. It helps to have a couple of, I mean, you can do it in one pan, but with a couple of pans, it just reduces obviously the cooking time dramatically. Because unfortunately, by slicing them this thin, it means that you've got a lot of aubergines to cook. If again, for each layer of aubergines, just add a little pinch of salt. And keep adding into the pan as you take out the cooked off it. What's that?
Deborah said, sorry I'm late, overslept. 6:30 a.m. here.
Who's that?
Deborah.
Hi, Deborah. Actually, I am really honored that you are making the effort to come on to these classes. So if you're awake now, let me go through what we've done so far so that you can catch up. It's not too late. So what we've done first, the first thing you do is start preparing the sauce. So you will want to finely slice one onion and put it in a pan with a few tablespoons of olive oil. So let's say about 3-4 tablespoons is enough. And you gently let them pan fry for a few minutes. And when the onions are colored up and become yellowy, transparent, you then add the passata. So is that you can use passata or you can use tinned tomatoes. If you use tinned tomatoes, then blend them together in a blender. And we're using 800 grams of passata in there, which is roughly a little bit more than a bottle. And we add 1 teaspoon of salt and a few fresh basil leaves. And you put it in the pan and pretty much forget about it. So that is cooking on a really low heat in the background. And here we just slice the aubergines, as you can see, in thin slices like this. And we are just cooking them on a couple of pans. I am cooking them without any oil. The traditional ways is to fry them, but I like a little bit lighter, so I'm not using oil. I just grease the frying pans with a little bit of olive oil, just in the tissue paper. And then I'm just cooking the aubergine basically on a hot plate, really. So as you can see, as I am cooking them, I then take them out, I put them on a plate, and for each layer of aubergines, then put a pinch of salt on top. So, Deborah, any questions so far? What I've told you? I know it's a lot. I told you a lot in a small time. But
she said she's just watching right now because it's a bit too early to wake the husband up.
That's fine.
So
don't worry. Don't worry. At least I have recapped on what we've done so far. And you see, as you can see, as I am preparing, taking out the aubergines, I'm putting some more on the pans because we got quite a few to cook. Okay, and I've got 2 pans, Deborah. I've got 2 pans going at the same time, so it can be a little bit faster, this process. Okay. Another minute. Okay, so we're almost there. Only got probably another couple of panfuls of aubergines, and then we can start. I said with each layer of cooked aubergines, I add a pinch of salt. And with each layer, I add a sip of my tea. This is not part of the recipe, but it's still nice. Okay, some more aubergines here. The stubborn one, the ones with the skin at the end, the lot of skin take longer to cook. Okay, only a few left. And those are the last ones that go on. Also, we need a flat aubergine to do with different layers of the Parmigiana. Let's have a look now. While I'm waiting for this to be ready, let's have a look at the tomato sauce. It's quite nice now. It's thickened up quite a bit. It's sticking everywhere. So I'll cover it up for another couple of minutes. I would say it's pretty much ready. So what I'll do, I'll get a few more basil leaves. Say roughly about, a small handful. And now I turn the heat off. Oh, sorry, wrong pan. I'll let it stop bubbling. As you can see, this tomato sauce has gone everywhere. And so now I'll turn the heat off the tomato sauce, and I'll add basil just like this at the end. Take it off the heat completely. Okay, so the sauce is ready. You can see there. So it's quite a thick sauce now. And it's ready for our preparation. So what we want to do now, we want to start getting the oven ready as well. So let me just have a look at these last aubergines. Turn them around. Okay. Make sure that turn these around. It'll take another couple of minutes, and then we'll be done with the aubergines at the moment. Okay, so the aubergines are done, and in the meantime, we'll turn the oven on static at about 200 degrees. Okay. Excuse me, just clean this because I can't watch it. I made a bit of a mess with the tomato sauce. So it's easy to clean while it's still hot. Okay, so the last taste of the tomato sauce to make sure that I'm happy with it. Yeah, feel happy with that. Because at this stage, there's still time to add, a little bit of salt, chili if you like, your pepper. Okay, this is ready as well. Okay, remove these. Always have to keep an eye on these because obviously when you cut them with a knife, the thickness varies. So the thinner ones cook a lot faster than the thicker slices. Pinch of salt, as I said.
Deborah says she loves aubergines.
Oh, I know, it's one of my favorite vegetables as well, and they're so rich, especially as a vegan. When there are some dishes that you used to before you become a vegan. They're difficult to replicate, and aubergines help you to give you that texture, that thickness that is difficult to achieve otherwise. My favorite, I mean, I would say pasta with aubergines is one of my favorites of all time. And you know that, a few weeks ago, we did pasta alla norma, the ones with the fried aubergines. You can take it one step further if you want. By when the aubergines are ready, you can actually blend them together with the tomato and makes a really, really rich sauce, which is absolutely beautiful. I'm starting to talk like what's his name?
Gordon Ramsay.
No, not Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
Jamie Oliver.
Oh,
Everything is beautiful. Okay. The aubergines are ready as well, so I'll take the last few out. And soon we'll be able to start preparing. Oh, come on. Okay, those I'll leave on the side. I'll turn it on. These are all the bits with the skin at the bottom, which I'll probably won't use, that I'll eat separately. Okay. Okay, we got now a nice sauce. And let me bring the other ingredients. So I'll be using this. Sorry. I'll be using this tray, oven tray for the Parmigiana. So, okay, ready to start now. First of all, we put a layer of tomato sauce. A little bit more. Okay, so we line the tray with the tomato sauce. And we start with a layer of aubergines. Okay. So we'll make sure we cover it and make a proper layer. And then we have the okay, so all done. Fantastic. Thank you very much. You can see my trusted assistant has grated the Parmesan cheese by hand. So we got Parmesan cheese there. Well, at least, sorry, vegan Parmesan, I should call it. And also got the kind of like a cheddar style. You can use the cheddar style cheese or mozzarella style, fine. So we put a nice layer of this. It's quite a rich dish, so don't be shocked, okay? And a nice layer of Parmesan.
Hillary says that looks good already.
Thank you, Hillary. Okay, so we've done this, and we just basically build it up now. Repeat the process. So we'll have another layer of tomato sauce. A little bit careful when you spread this, because obviously you don't really want to disturb the aubergines and cheese. So gently spread it with a spoon. As you can see, this is a labor of love.
This is one of the, I've got some of my best memories actually are connected with this dish. You know, every time when my grandmother used to prepare it, you know, it could hardly get to the table before it was consumed. And it was like, there was almost like a fight between us who could eat quick faster so we could get another portion. So we used to, by the end of it, the dish was so hot, it was kind of like scalding temperature. So our mouths would be completely burnt at the end, but very satisfied. Okay, so carry on lining. Another layer of aubergines. I'll say if you don't think you got enough, it's always time to cut another one and fry a few more. So there's no rush, as we haven't, you know, until we are ready, we won't be putting it in the oven. Okay, so again, another layer of cheese. Kind of be quite liberal with the cheese. So this is Parmesan and the other one. There's a difference. This cheddar style cheese melts a lot better than the Parmesan, but the Parmesan has got more taste. So one will give us the taste and the other one will give us the texture. Kind of like gooey, cheesy texture.
Deborah says he loves the way certain food brings back great memories.
I know exactly, and we got obviously, you know, having had the experience with my mother and my grandmother, I've got a lot of memories that are connected to food, because all the events, like if you say, for example, I don't know, Christmas, that's the first thing that comes to mind is not the presents, it's actually the food that we used to eat at Christmas. And so on. Every occasion has these special foods. So that was the, you know, the excitement. A lot of the excitement was connected to the lovely, lovely dishes that were cooked around that time, the special times.
Deborah says same with me.
Oh, fantastic. See? Great minds think alike. Okay, so we've done another layer. Okay, we'll do a third layer. You can do as little or as many layers of aubergines as you like. Obviously, the thicker you make it, the longer it will take, to cook. But there isn't any rule on how many layers you should do. I think I will stop here at 3 layers. But this is possibly, I've got just about enough aubergines to finish this layer. But you can do some more if you want. There's no problem with that. You just need a few more aubergines. Actually, a bit liberal with the aubergines on it. I'll keep the thicker ones away because this is the top layer and I don't want it too thick, but I use some of these thin ones because I don't want to waste them. Okay, so I'll do the same thing with this. So we finish, I've got enough tomatoes to do the last layer. So let's again do another cheese layer. As you can see, I've got another one because I knew that would not enough. This, by the way, is not a full pack, as I had already started, so there was only a little bit in there, just in case you worry about how much cheese you put in this. And that is interesting.
Okay, so for an abundant layer of cheese at the end. Again, I put the cheddar. Now I'll put the Parmesan as well. So be quite liberal with the cheese. Okay, and we'll bring the tomato sauce. Make sure you scrape it all off the pan. Don't want to be leaving any behind. Okay, and again, like before, gently spread it on the top. Could have done with a little bit more sauce actually, just a tiny bit more. Let me see if I can scrape a bit more off the pan. Okay, that will do. I'll spread it, try to cover most of it. Okay. Wash my hands. And the last ingredient we'll put at the top is some, I'm just using some breadcrumbs. Okay, so actually probably do it with my fingers. So we give you a little bit of that kind of like a hard, crusty finish. Sorry, you can't see me? Oh, sorry. Sorry, just a second. Where's that? Where are the participants? Okay. Should be done. Sorry, I forgot to spotlight the video. That should have been done earlier on. So these are the breadcrumbs at the end. And if you haven't used any chili, you might want to add also a little bit of black pepper if you want. It's completely down to taste. Okay, so having done this, there are a few more bits of cheddar at the top. Okay, and off we go. We're ready for, oh, it's just quite weighty. Okay, we'll put it in the oven for half an hour. So 200 degrees in the oven. Okay, and that will be ready in half an hour. Katerina, would you mind? Katerina is now behind the camera, taking Francesco's place as Francesco is going out to meet his friends. Sorry, just a little bit of tidying up here, and then we get started on the desserts. This will, as I say, we can eat separately. There's nothing's not to be wasted. Aubergines are so lovely to eat in any way. So, okay, let me put this away.
Was it strictly cheese on top of breadcrumbs?
Yes, I do put.
Rosaline.
Hi, Rosalind. It's completely just because I love cheese, so I put some more on top. It's yeah. Do if you want, or don't if you don't.
Michaela said, well, last week's recording details on YouTube soon.
Hi, Michaela. Yes, I've been really busy this week, so I haven't done it yet, but I'll do it today. Okay. So last week we did the crostata. So what's it? What do you call it in English? Tart. We did the custard tart with the pine nuts and chocolate. And peaches in white wine. I put the recipes on the website. Okay, so the recipes are already available. The video I'll sort out later. Okay, so let's start with the tiramisu. The first thing we need to make is some strong espresso coffee. I use, as I say, this coffee machine. It's a traditional Italian coffee machine. This is enough for 2 to 3 espresso cups. And this is, I mean, I've shown you this before. We put the water here in the tank, and then we put this on top, and we put the coffee on there, and then we screw this on, and the coffee comes out from here. Okay, so let me do that. Some water first. So an espresso coffee, this is my favorite one. Illy, it's really nice and it's easy to find. You find it pretty much everywhere. I'll just fill it up and I will just compact it gently, you don't want to make it too hard, otherwise it won't come out. Okay, so that's it, that's machine ready. And what I will do, just take a fork and just do a couple of gently. It makes it easy for it to come out.
Which oven shelf did you use? This is from Stu.
So I just put it in the middle shelf. The cook, I mean, the aubergines. Bye, Francesco. The aubergines are already cooked, so just we need time to finish off the cooking and the melting of the cheese. So it doesn't really matter if it takes a couple of minutes more or less, depending on the oven shelf that you use. You can also, at the end, you can just put it under the grill for a couple of minutes if you want that kind of like crusty look. This is a little hack that I'm using simply because this machine is more than 30 years old, and there is a little accessory that goes on the top to stop the coffee going everywhere. So if I don't use something like this, I'll have coffee all over the kitchen. Okay.
Who said it's in the oven?
Yes, it is.
No, cheese.
Oh, cheese. Oh, fantastic, Sue. Great that you do it as well. Fantastic. So it should be ready. By the time we finish preparing this, that should be ready. Sorry, Katia, are you timing it?
No.
Oh. Can we time it here, please? Let me just. So it should be about 5 minutes. It's already gone. So put it on 25. Okay. Okay, so the coffee is on. While that is on, then we'll do the cream. I'll get the cream from the fridge. So I asked you before, the only thing I've done, because I don't think it makes a really good viewing just to see me whipping the cream for 5 minutes. So the first thing I've asked you to do is just to have the cream whipped. So you start in the liquid format, and by now, after whipping it like this for a few minutes, it becomes pretty, as you can see, pretty solid and thick. So this is the one, again, this is the cream that I used. Okay. Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the Elmlea Plant cream. I mean, there are several brands on the market. This is the one that I can find in my local supermarket. So you want to whip it for a few minutes until you get to a nice thickness like this. I added a little bit of sugar. That depends on the make you use. Some of them already have sugar in them, so make sure that you taste it. You just want it to be very, very gently sweet, not very sweet, just a little bit sweet. So I added about 2 tablespoons of sugar to this.
Right, Rosalie says she didn't see the instructions for whipping, and so that's not done yet. It's just cream on its own.
That's fine, Rosaline. We'll just get whipping. Let's get whipping. I sent the instructions this morning about an hour before the event, so I think you got the you booked at the last minute, so you might not have seen the preparation instructions. But this is the only thing I did basically. It just takes a few minutes. If you have an electric whisk, this will be done in 30 seconds. Okay, so feel free to use that if you have one. So step 2. I said I'm using this one. Actually, I haven't seen it before, but it looked really, really nice and tasty. So yes, I'll have some of that. So it's kind of like a vanilla custard dessert. This one is made with almond milk, but you can use them. You can use the ones with soya milk, perfectly fine. So what we'll do is just put those in there as well. As you can see, it's quite thick. Okay, that's one. And I'll put the second one in as well. And I'll just combine them together with the cream. Obviously, there is quite a lot of variation from the traditional recipe, because the traditional recipe is made with eggs. So there is no cream actually in the original recipe, because there's only the egg whites and the egg yolks and mascarpone cheese. So I'll just combine them together. Okay, so the cream is pretty much ready. As you can see, it doesn't have to be completely stiff. Let's make sure that all the vanilla dessert has combined well. Okay, make sure that I don't want to waste anything, as usual.
Okay. So this is step 2, and we put that aside for now. Okay. Now a little bit of preparation. Step 3. We take our digestive biscuits and just make a little bit of green on here. Okay, so we'll have some digestive biscuits. How do you open these? Just like the kitchen scissors. Okay, what we want to do now with them is we'll do a few sandwiches. We'll have a few ready. You can hear the coffee starting to come out. Okay, so what we do now, we'll take the chocolate. This is the one I'm using. Okay, chocolate spread. It's a hazelnut chocolate spread, and we prepare a few sandwiches. Okay, and inside, just gently squeeze them together and make sure that the spread is evenly distributed. Very gentle squeeze. The biscuit. Now today I will make. Last time we did something similar. We did it in a glass, which you're free to do if you want. But I'll be making it in a bowl. Okay, I think 4 will be enough for this. Let's see how the coffee is doing. Okay. I say I'll be making the tiramisu in here. Okay, while we're waiting for that to be ready, we can start with the first layer. So we start with a layer of cream. Almost kind of like lining the bowl with that. Okay. That's step number 1. Now, for the next step, we will need to wait for the coffee to be ready. Okay, so almost there. Okay, and what we'll do, we will quickly dunk the biscuits in coffee and then place them on the bottom to have a nice layer. Okay, this is ready.
And I would put the coffee in a bowl so that it's easy then to dunk the biscuits. Espresso. I might need to brew a little bit more coffee. Now let's try first. Let's see if I got enough there. If we need to make another machine, we'll make another one. As an optional step, you can put a little bit of liqueur in your coffee. I'll be using just a little bit of brandy, just about a cupful. Okay, and what I'll be doing, I just quickly dunk the biscuit in the coffee, and then place them on there. If I use a teaspoon, there was a bit of biscuit that was missed. Just add a little bit more. Make sure they're all coated with coffee. Okay, number 2. Okay, same here, a little bit more coffee. Actually, this is the bowl is not quite large enough, so I'll do 2 layers. Do one like this, and then another one on the top. This is the last sandwich. Need to be more coffee. You can see it's still, the coffee is still hot, so it gets absorbed very quickly. Okay, so now we can cover it with a nice layer of cream. Quite a lot of cream at the moment because it needs to fill all the gaps. Make sure it's all on one level. Okay. It's now time for our banana. So where is the thing? I want to, excuse me, slice it quite thinly. We do a nice layer of banana. Excuse my accent, I'm sure that there is a proper way of saying banana in English. banana. This is a lesson for me as well. I've been living in London for only about 30 years now, so I still got a while to go before I get my English accent. Okay. So what we do now, we just gently have a layer of banana on the cream. I say you can be creative with the kind of bowl that you can use, or you can use actually a flat one. It probably would be best for this. I don't have one available today, but kind of like a similar one to the one that we use for the melanzane would be quite good for this dessert. Makes it easier as well to dish out. So I carry on with these. Actually, I'll tell you what, I'll leave a few for the next thing. So what I do now, I get some more biscuits. Do another layer, but without putting the chocolate, just with coffee. And I'll finish them off in a second with more coffee. How are we doing? Can you check the time, please? Okay, so the aubergine should be almost ready. Okay, let's add more coffee. Make sure it gets absorbed nicely by the biscuits. I'll add some more biscuit to cover all the gaps. So I'll actually break it down. So make sure it's all coffeeed up. Oops. Okay, so coffee in there as well. And I use the last few pieces of banana on top as well. Okay. Now, another generous layer of cream.
We've got quite a lot of cream, so I might do another layer as well. So you could stop here, or you can do another layer, depending on what kind of container you're using. So I've still got quite a lot of cream left, so maybe another layer of biscuits. What I'll do. Just like this. Make sure they get soften up by absorbing the coffee. Okay, shall we finish closing the gap? Almost run out of coffee though. There we go. Let's see, there's the last drops of coffee. Okay, just about enough. Okay, now we finish it off with another thin layer of cream and some cocoa powder.
From Rosaline, what's after banana layer? Biscuit, then?
Biscuit, then cream. Always, biscuits get soaked in coffee all the time. So just plain biscuits without the chocolate spread. That's only on the bottom layer. So you can be as liberal as you want with the cream, especially on the last layer. And if you actually place this in the fridge for about an hour or so, it will get a little bit firmer as well. So actually, I've got finishing off the cream. I'll be left with it. Okay. Okay, the last touch, the finishing touch, is a little bit of cocoa powder. I'm just using a sieve to make sure that it spreads evenly.
Okay, that's ready.
Should be ready. Yeah, then aubergines should be ready. Okay, we'll finish this and we'll check them in a minute. Let's be more.
Okay. And that is ready. So, very good. Okay, let's have a look at in a moment the aubergines. Okay. Melanzane alla parmigiana. Okay.
All looks yummy. Can I come round? That's from Hillary.
Anytime, Hillary. So let's cut the aubergines. I can show you a nice slice of aubergines just about ready. Okay. Sorry, Katrina, could you take it? It didn't come out as neatly as I thought, but this can be tasting dish. Let me take another one. Let's we got one each. Any questions? Now, before you taste this dish, make sure this cool down a little because
It's delicious. When it's lunch, that's good.
okay, make sure it cools down a little because it's very, very hot. Obviously, it just come out of the oven. Okay, so we'll be doing an official tasting in a second. I need to. Karina, would you like to taste?
Yeah, we can virtually taste if you want. The kitchen smells wonderful. That's what Sue says.
So the big. Might want to wait a little bit, actually. So you can see the richness of, kind of all. Shall I taste it first?
I think so. You're the cook.
Still very, very hot. This is lovely. Really nice. Really nice. I mean, you can, if you want to, I haven't put it under the grill, but if you want, there you are, Katrina. If you want, you can put it for a couple of minutes under the grill to finish it off.
That's lovely.
This is just
Really
just lovely,
nice.
just beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah.
So that's number one.
would you like to have a taste of
No, I'll let you
tiramisu
do
as well? So when I do it like this in a bowl like this, then obviously it's not as neat as doing it in a glass, and I need kind of like a big spoon to dish it out. I'm going to use a dessert bowl. So there's no neat way of doing this. I'll make sure that I take a bit of all the layers. Can you see the layers in there? More.
Taste it.
Okay. We need a taste of this as well.
I love tiramisu. I must say, it's a lot of people's favorite dessert. Very nice, and also combination of chocolate, the hazelnut spread, and the banana. I think it works really, really well together. So, cheers. Katerina. Tasting for Katerina as well. So, before we finish this session today, what do you think?
Really lovely. To go out for a long run after that.
Oh, I love tiramisu. Kitchen is a little bit of a mess at the moment, as it always is when I cook. But I think this is a sign that you really enjoy your cooking. Okay, because I don't mind if I make a mess. Obviously I will clear it up after, but the important thing is to come out with a nice good dish at the end. So are there any questions before we finish today's session? Katerina?
No.
No? Excuse me.
All crystal clear.
I think it takes a little bit of preparation, but the dishes are quite simple. So I really hope you enjoy them and you enjoy the finished product. I really did. So hope you got good results as well. As usual, please put some pictures on Facebook. And if I could ask you to put a review on the Genius View site where all the recipes are. It would be really good. On the homepage, there's a link where it says reviews. Just click on there. You can put a quick review.
Okay, Deborah and Hilary say thank you, and also Rosalind thanks Luca. Will do a review. That's very kind.
Thank you very much, Rosalind. Nice to see all of you that are cooking with me. I think it's really fun, really enjoyable, and I hope you are enjoying the results as much as I do.
Sue says delicious.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sue. And well, I'm going to go and have a nice lunch now. So enjoy, and I will see you again. I will see you again next week.
What are you going to do next week?
I've got a couple of things in mind, but I haven't quite firmed them. I will think about it later. One thing I wanted to show you how to make vegan mayonnaise. So that's going to be it's only a quick thing. So that's going to be part of next week, and I'll come out with the main dish that we do in a little bit later. Okay.
There's a message from Carol. Thank you again. Going to make them for Monday's dinner.
Oh, fantastic, Carol. Let me know how you get on and how's the result. Okay. So thank you very much again for watching this, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Will do, Carol says.
Thanks, Carol. Bye.